Good evening. My name is Israel Malinowitzer, formerly from the East Islip School District. I have retired as of October 2019. To many of my students and parents, I was always known as Mr. Malin. The first thing I'd like to say, I am running for the school board of the East Islip District. I'd like to wish everyone a very safe and healthy year. We are right now facing terrible times. Our children are out of school. Our parents are not at work. Everyone is locked up. Everyone is very upset and stressed. But good times, we hope, will return sooner than later.
All right, Mr. Malinowitzer. So I'm going to ask you a few questions, and they're based upon what people have voiced their concerns on the page that you created. And the first question I want to ask you is, why exactly are you even running for the school board when you just retired?
Well, let me first explain. I retired in October 2019 due to a serious situation with my oldest daughter. Unfortunately, she had to have her leg amputated, and due to that situation, I felt in the best interest of my family I would retire from the East Islip School District. It was with a very, very hard and heavy heart that I made that decision. As many of you know, I have been an advocate for students for all of the years that I've been in the district. I am still an advocate for students, and I will continue to be one. I am proud to live in East Islip. I am proud to be involved with many programs, many clubs, many events. That will never change. My reason for running for the board is because things there have changed. In just a short period of time, we have lost many programs. And those programs, unless are led back by people like myself, they will never come back. And the ones that will suffer will be your children. I cannot sit still. And I have never been one who was afraid to roll up my sleeves and take the effective measures to make sure every student gets everything they need to graduate and be successful in the future.
All right, so my next question for you is, what difference can you make that the candidates that have already been in there and who are running again to be reelected, what difference can you make that they can't make?
Let me make this very clear. I am not here to knock any of the candidates. I am here to clearly state my case. And the fact that I have worked in the East Islip School District as a substitute, as the public relations person for the district, and then as the Director of Careers and Student Services, I have had the pleasure of watching over 6,000 students go through the entire K-12 system and graduate proudly from East Islip School District. I know the ins and outs of East Islip School District, and I know what businesses are looking for, what companies are looking for, what colleges are looking for in our students. And by eliminating certain programs, we are taking away the advantage that we have given our children in the past. We cannot sit still and allow programs to be destroyed because of any reason you want, whether it's fiscal or whether it's lack of staff. That needs to be corrected, and I know I can do that.
My next question is, do you feel that the students that are graduating from East Islip, as of now, have a full resume? And by full resume, I mean, do they have the clubs? Do they have the extracurricular activities to show colleges? Or are they lacking in that?
That's a great question. And the answer to that, a few years ago, I would have said yes. Today, I have to say no. Today, many students are leaving school early as seniors. Many students have very little electives to select. When I started, the East Islip School District Business Department was made up of 9 teachers. Today, we have 2. We have a technology program that is superb. But if kids are leaving, if the numbers are going low, getting lower and lower, how are we going to be able to give them the proper skills that they need? Education is more than just academics. It's vocational. it's hands-on, it's the computer skills. All of that makes up our district and makes up a full, ready-to-go student. And if you have kids leaving early or going home at a time where they have to go to work, that is not a full resume. And that is not a full opportunity for that child.
Okay, so now following up on that, what programs, clubs, what would you want to bring back to the school or add in addition to the school?
Well, again, like I said, as far as programs, for the last 10 years, we were very fortunate to have programs like the Environment Green Academy, the Virtual Enterprise Business Academy, the Medical Health and Technology Academy, and the Culinary and Hospitality Academy. All of those programs gave our students opportunities to work with their hands, to be involved with businesses, to be involved with the environmentalists, to be involved with culinary specialists, to have a hand and a partnership with Northwell Health. That is the way we get students prepared for the future. We need to have them do mentoring, shadowing, all of those things that the School Business Partnership has done for the years, but we need to take it to the next step.
So I was just going through the Facebook page and there was a question regarding something off that topic, which is about children with allergies and health issues and disabilities. And I know that there are quite a few of them, and we need to know what you plan on doing. How do you plan on making it an equal situation for not only healthy children, but children that are sick or children that have disabilities and have health issues? We need to know what you plan on doing.
That's a great question. Let me begin by telling you that when my oldest daughter was born, within the first 2 years, unfortunately, she suffered seizures and then became a chronic asthmatic. And I spent numerous days and weeks on end laying on the floor in the hospital at Southside Hospital. I always said to them as she got older, the wing over there was paid for by me. Now today, unfortunate, again, that in October when I retired, it was again for my daughter who had to have her leg amputated. And there is nothing I wouldn't do for her and to make sure that she is healthy. Your children are just like my children. Every child is equal to me. When I walk into a building, I walk in saying that your child is to get the best education, be well educated, be protected, not be bullied, and definitely not have to be in an environment where we deal with mold or we deal with poor air quality or heating systems that are on some rooms and overheated in other rooms, or the fact that we are going to let children have asthmatic attacks, have allergy attacks, and we're going to stop it by putting a little sign on a table, this table is for allergy students. That is not the proper way. The proper way is everyone in a school building works together. Everyone in the school building should be CPR certified. And I want to say this very clearly. People are afraid to be certified because then it is their responsibility. But we need to bring this program in and let them know it is more than a responsibility. Think of every child as your child. You would want someone to do anything possible to save that child in the event that you were not there. And more importantly, if you were there, that CPR is for your child. EpiPens. We have heard so much. I have been at some training for EpiPens, and the system holds you back. But again, everyone should be certified with the EpiPen. That way, at least we all know that there's someone in the building who, if they're there, can take the step forward and save that child. I have also brought to the school district CPR and AED training, not for the teachers, because that's the union's job, but for the students. The kids in all of my academies were offered every year to be trained and to be certified in CPR. And those children who wanted to be in it came on Fridays and Saturdays. That was their choice. They were never forced, but they knew if they are going into any business field or any medical field, you need to have that training.
Now, let me ask you a question. Let's continue on this. For children that, let's say, are in a wheelchair or are handicapped, okay, maybe they're amputees, you wouldn't know that they were. How do you feel about some of the areas not being accessible to a child who's in a wheelchair versus a child who is perfectly fine and healthy?
During the time that my daughter had her leg amputated, we had her in a wheelchair, we had her using a walker, we had her using crutches. And on an occasion, here and there, we would go to a supermarket just to get out of the house. And I won't mention the names of certain supermarkets, but I could not take my daughter through certain areas, through the cashier areas, because they were too narrow. Certain aisles, she couldn't go down. This is a disgrace. And to take it one step further, every room and every school building and every building that is part of our education system should be ready and accessible for every child.
Okay. All right. So, we're just starting this and we're trying to answer the questions that are being asked on the Facebook page. And so we're slow and steady. As you guys ask questions, we're going to answer them. I'm going to let Mr. Malinowitzer finish because these were the questions we were asked as of today and since we opened the page, which has only been 3 days. So I'm going to let him finish up by summarizing how he feels.
I also want to make mention that I worked with certain teachers to bring the program Stop the Bleed. That is an excellent program and everyone should get that training as well. It is important in the event of a sudden bleed. You need to be ready and able to take care of that situation.
Now, for those who don't know, what exactly is Stop the Bleed?
Stop the Bleed is a program that is available through certain associations where they train you on how to handle a situation where someone is bleeding profusely. You want to do whatever is necessary to stop the bleed so that that person does not die from loss of blood. Now, to go further, the main reason I am running is because I care about the children, about the parents, about everyone involved in education. I am not here to make any comments or to blame anyone for anything. I want to bring all parties together. I want to work with the teachers. I want to work with the unions. I want to work with administration. And most importantly, I want to work with the parents and the students. I want new ideas to come back to East Islip. I want to bring programs that kids want to come to school for. And I want to make sure that we make East Islip the #1 school district on Long Island. I can't tell you where that number is today. But when I started, we were #7. And then we were #11, and then we came back down. We can be #1 because the teachers in East Islip care. The teachers in East Islip want to educate your children. They want to make sure that those children remember them and those children keep in touch with them. And I receive many, many emails and text messages from former students of East Islip. And it gives me great joy to say I touched the life of a child. And that is why we are all in the education business. And I will be back again. And until then, thank you for those of you who have joined my Facebook page and for those of you who have said the most wonderful things about your relationship with me. I thank you. And I am delighted that I can continue doing that. So remember, on June 9th,